Coming up on Citrus TV News, the Student Association talks safety with DPS. Find out what audience members asked officers and what they are doing to make campus safer.
Plus, more meetings in the Trump-Russia probe. This time, Trump's lawyer takes the stand. He's accused of meeting with Russian officials during the campaign. Find out what the lawyer had to say.
And 40 jets, $14 billion, and 70,000 jobs. How a huge deal with Singapore is creating these numbers for the U.S. All that and more right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Safety procedures at SU are now more transparent to students. Good evening, I'm Federico.
And I'm Elissa Candiotti. Concerns about recent crimes in DPS's procedures led to a presentation by the department at last night's SA meeting.
DPS held an open Q&A session with members of the SU Student Association at yesterday's meeting. Two representatives from campus security discussed various topics, including DPS jurisdiction, shutting down parties, and the safety escort program. Questions were asked about DPS's sexual assault self-defense and whether they were failing to educate potential assaulters as opposed to simply teaching victims. Additionally, students asked about parties on South Campus and why they were more likely to be stopped than those on main campus. Democrat Juanita Perez-Williams is leading the polls in the race for Syracuse's new mayor. Citrus TV reporter Byron Tollefson attended last night's mayoral debate where three other candidates tried to make their case.
The Syracuse mayoral race is in full swing as the two major frontrunners would both make history with a win. They debated last night in downtown Syracuse just 2 weeks ahead of Election Day.
The race for mayor in Syracuse this year is an historic election. If the Democratic candidate Juanita Perez-Williams wins, she'd become the city's first Latina mayor. The independent Ben Walsh would be Syracuse's first mayor not affiliated with a political party. Although recent debates between the two have been contentious, last night's debate in downtown Syracuse took a calmer route. Perez-Williams emphasized her experience during the debate, saying that it's necessary to create programs that revitalize neighborhoods and build better schools.
I talk about the need to be an executive manager, someone who has experience, the qualifications and relationships that come with managing hundreds of people under crisis situations.
On the other hand, Walsh, who's running as an independent, says he'll be able to rise above party politics and govern independently.
When I chose to run for office, everyone said I had to pick one, but I had to stay true to myself and stay true to my independent values. And right now, Syracuse needs a leader that's willing to bring about change and do so in a way that brings everyone together and moves this community forward.
A key theme was combating poverty. Syracuse has one of the highest rates in the nation, as 1 in 2 children live in poverty. Juanita says it starts with creating better living conditions for children, while Walsh says he wants to create more career education opportunities.
There's almost a direct correlation between poverty and academic achievement.
A poll last week showed the two neck and neck, with Juanita holding a 7% lead over Walsh. 14% of voters do remain undecided, which will ultimately decide the race.
So what about Republican nominee Laura Levine? How's she doing in the polls right now?
Well, Levine is polling at just 9% right now, and among Republicans who are voting the election, actually, Ben Walsh is up 37% to 30% among Republican voters. So she's really struggling, and she has one controversial idea at the moment where usually the school board at the moment is elected, they're elected officials, but under Levine's plan, she would elect them herself. And she's gotten a repudiation from both the Syracuse Teachers Board and both all other candidates with that. So she's struggling at the moment, and she actually wasn't at the debate last night.
All right.
Thank you so much, Byron.
The police's relationship with the Syracuse community was discussed at the debate, and Governor Cuomo is blocking a bill that would make the Syracuse section of the New York State Thruway free of toll charges. The bill was passed in June by the State Assembly and Senate. Cuomo said that it would violate state laws that prevent interference with those thruway tolls. The bill was intended to draw drivers back to the thruway. Vehicles lined the Einhorn Family Walk this morning for the filming of an independent movie. The walk was closed to students from 7 a.m. until noon, while the crew shot car scenes in front of Hall Languages. DPS sent students an email last night letting them know which areas would be cut off from the public. The movie is named The Mountain and stars Jeff Goldblum. The Maxwell School is now offering a new program for master's students. It will take students all the way to Washington. Citrus TV reporter Rebekah Castor spoke with one of the professors behind this new opportunity.
Another opportunity for Syracuse students to study in Washington, D.C. The Center for Strategic and International Studies, known as CSIS, is launching an executive master's program in international relations set in D.C. Maxwell professor Dr. Murrett says this program is perfect for mid-career students in international relations and government.
I think the affiliation between Maxwell and CSIS, the ability to take classes at night, the fact that this is an efficient program in terms of compressing it in a limited period of time for a master's degree are all advantages which I wish I could have taken advantage of when I got my master's in Washington some years ago.
Students will be able to choose from one of 5 specialties: global security and intelligence, foreign policy, public diplomacy, global markets, or global development.
The students will have, in addition to the courses that we will take, which are at a fairly compressed timeline because we want them to complete it as quickly as possible in ways that are efficient, they'll also get the opportunity to do a semester-long research project with one of the many policy experts that are down at CSIS in Washington, and to work that on a deliberate basis throughout one of the semesters as a capstone project that they'll have as part of the IR degree program.
Students can apply by contacting the CSIS office at Syracuse University. Rebekah Castor, Citrus TV News.
Preference is given to students who apply before November, so get those applications in if you want to study in D.C. this spring.
Syracuse University ranks in the top 100 for best colleges in the country, but many of the professional schools within SU rank in the top 10, even top 5 in the country for their programs. Citrus TV News reporter Jenna Babyak is in studio to elaborate.
SU's architecture school ranks as the 3rd best in the nation. I spoke with the Dean Michael Speaks about other top-ranking schools at SU and why the school as a whole doesn't rank higher.
We're very happy at 3. We'd love to be 2. We'd love to be 1.
The architecture program at SU has consistently ranked in the top 10 since 2004. The iSchool ranks number 4 for information science schools. The Newhouse School ranks number 1 for journalism schools. So why is it that the university as a whole doesn't have a higher ranking?
One of the things I think that our students do that maybe most students at the university don't do is that we range across so many different disciplines.
The College of Arts and Sciences is home to more than 1/3 of all SU students. Arts and Sciences has a higher acceptance rate than most of the professional schools, a higher student-to-faculty ratio, and other factors that contribute to SU ranking as number 61 in the nation. But many SU students are attracted to the university for the same reasons.
We have a beautiful campus, but and also because of the variety of activities that students can participate in on campus.
Most students agree that SU offers more than just top academics. One ranking that all SU students can be proud of, being named the #1 college for school spirit. SU students bleed orange more than any other college. Sports fans cheer for their teams.
Thank you, Jenna. A businessman in Rochester is taking a stand against what he deems a township problem. Billionaire Tom Golisano believes it is Bristol Township's responsibility to clear the geese from his lawn. Golisano says he reached out to the township for help and received no solution. He is withholding taxes owed to Bristol schools until he receives aid.
Well, I couldn't keep up with the weather today. First we had rain, then we have sunshine.
Josh, please let us know what's going on.
Some crazy weather we had today, guys, but it turned out pretty nice. 70 degrees. It felt like 70. Not too humid. I didn't have to sweat too much on my walk over here, even in my suit. And tonight it's going to get a little bit chillier. 56 degrees. It's going to get into the high 40s late into the night, past midnight, 1 o'clock. In the evening, or 1 o'clock in the morning, I should say. But this is going to be a little bit of indicative of the weather to come in the upcoming week, and there might be some rain as well. Stay tuned for my full weather forecast.
Coming up on Citrus TV News, one of Trump's most well-known campaign promises is coming closer to reality.
And a top United States official travels to the Philippines. Don't change that channel.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Elissa Candiotti, Connor Federico, and Josh Feinblatt with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
A GOP heavyweight will not be returning to Congress for a new term. Senator Jeff Flake of Arizona announced today that he is not running for re-election.
In his speech, Flake blasted the changes in politics happening in the U.S., especially those involving President Trump. Flake joins Tennessee Senator Bob Corker as an outspoken critic of the president from within his own party. The prototypes of Trump's proposed wall are almost complete. Companies have built 8 different versions along the border enforcement zone near San Diego.
Most of the wall is about 30 feet high, made up of concrete and steel. Congress still needs to pass the $1.8 billion budget to make the wall a reality. President Trump's personal attorney plans to meet with House and Senate intelligence panels. Sources say the meeting is part of an ongoing investigation into Russia meddling in the 2016 election.
A dossier says Cohen had a meeting with Russian officials in Prague during the campaign. The lawyer declined to answer questions about the meeting and denies claims about gathering with Russian officials. The Chinese president's power and status is growing. Xi Jinping's political philosophies have been added to the Communist Party constitution.
He joins Mao Zedong as the only other person with their ideas in the country's constitution. This comes days before China's governing body is announced. Secretary of Defense James Mattis is working to improve American relations in Asia. Mattis is in the Filipino capital to meet with President Rodrigo Duterte as part of a conference with Asian defense leaders.
The visit comes after the U.S. military helped Filipino forces fight against militants in Marawi.
Coming up, our warm October continues. Josh Feinblatt will have more on when we can see temperatures dropping.
And one of the biggest world's airlines is getting even bigger. Find out what upgrades they've made to their fleet. Citrus TV News will be right back.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro.
Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
It was a beautiful day today around the area, around 70 degrees. Some places hit in the mid-60s, like in Rochester, down in Elmira, but overall, a pretty beautiful day. And tomorrow, it's not looking exactly the same. In the morning, if you're going to your 8 a.m. class, 47 degrees. It's going to be in the high 40s all throughout the morning up until around 11 a.m. Not going to be windy, but it's going to be chilly. And Wednesday throughout the day, 49 degrees as we get into 9 a.m. About noon, it's going to be around 56 degrees, and it's going to hold steady there all throughout the day. No rain yet. It might be coming in the next couple days. I'll let you know coming up soon. But get used to these temperatures, guys. It's going to be cold starting now. I know we've been talking about it a lot. And Thursday, we're looking at some rain. Rain is going to be sort of coming in through here. We've got rain coming up from New Jersey, from the D.C. area. That's going to miss us just a little bit. But this rain out here is going to hit us at least in some capacity. And moving into our 5-day weather forecast, as you can see, it looks like it's going to rain Thursday. It's about 20-30% chance of rain. And just the temperatures are not looking beautiful in the 60s, in the high 60s. It really, other than that Saturday, it's going to be beautiful. Winter is coming. We've got that little Jon Snow up there because winter is coming. You can say goodbye to some hot days.
I'm not excited about that. That's probably the worst news I've heard all day. So when are we actually expecting these temperatures to severely drop?
Sure. So other than Saturday, it looks like it won't be high in the 60s until next year. It's going to be cold. Yeah, and as Justin Timberlake is probably going to sing at the Super Bowl, we can say bye to 70 degrees, 60 degrees. I know you're upset, Connor, as am I.
Well, I'm pretty upset about that rain too. Is it looking like it's going to be a rainy fall and into the winter?
It doesn't look too bad. In the south, it's going to be a wetter than normal, but up here it's going to be a little bit, actually a little bit drier, but it's going to be a little bit warmer than we're used to.
All right, thanks so much, Josh.
No problem.
Target will offer free shipping for the holiday season starting in November. More than 1,000 items will qualify for the free shipping, and most of those items are under $15. In the next month, Target is set to roll out a mobile paying option for Red Card holders on in-store purchases.
Singapore Airlines will buy $13.8 billion worth of Boeing jets. The airline will purchase 39 aircraft. Singapore Airlines already purchased 30 Dreamliner planes and are the first customer for the aircraft. President Trump says the new deal will employ 70,000 jobs.
Playing Mega Millions will cost twice as much next week. Tickets for the Halloween draw will cost up to $2. The jackpot now starts at $40 million, an increase from the previous $15 million. Lottery officials say the changes come after customers demanded a higher payout. Mega Millions is played in 44 states, including New York.
Coming up in sports, Syracuse football finally gets a week off, and the similarities to last year are eerie. Plus, Bob Costas is up for another award, and the World Series starts in less than 2 hours. Don't touch that remote.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back. I'm Drew Carter. Syracuse football fans may be feeling deja vu right now. The Orange heads into its bye week with a record of 4-4. That's the exact same situation it faced last year, and that didn't end well. SU dropped its last 4 games and missed out on a bowl for the 3rd straight season. This year, though, head coach Gino Babers is optimistic about that home stretch.
So there's a lot of positives. It's hard to swallow when you don't win. So we'll go back. It's break. We're 4-4. We got the toughest schedule in the country, and we're 4-4. And then guess what? We got 2 more on the road and 2 more at home in the Loud House. And I guarantee you, we're going to be ready to play those 4 games.
Now, Babers' team crumbled after the bye last year on both sides of the football. In the first game out of the break, quarterback Eric Dungy went down with an injury and missed the rest of the season. And on defense, the Orange allowed more than 52 points per game over the last 4. This year, the first test, a trip to Tallahassee, Syracuse and Florida State, kick off next Saturday at 12:20. And the 'Cuse continues to own college tennis in the Northeast. Yesterday, Gabriella Knutson, a junior at SU, won the singles title in the ITA Northeast Regionals. Knutson took down Stephanie Schrag from Princeton in straight sets in the final. That makes it 3 years in a row with an Orange champion in this tournament. It features a draw of 128 players. Syracuse sophomore Miranda Ramirez made the semifinals as well. In the NBA, both New York teams hit the hardwood tonight, both on the road. The Nets head south and take on the Magic in a battle between 2 surprisingly good teams. Brooklyn and Orlando, both 2-1 after they each finished in the bottom 3 of the Eastern Conference last year. Can't say the same for the Knicks, though. They take an 0-2 record into Boston. The lone bright spot for New York, Kristaps Porzingis, the 22-year-old, averaging 32 points per game. A couple New York teams on the NHL schedule tonight as well. The Islanders might as well have the night off, though. They get the Coyotes at Barclays Center. Arizona is the league's only team still searching for its first win. The Sabres are at home, too. They take on the Red Wings. Buffalo coming off an overtime win over Boston. The Sabres came back from a 3-goal deficit to win 5-4. Detroit, meanwhile, got handled by Vancouver 4-1 on Sunday night. And if Bob Costas has any more room in his trophy case, he might fill it soon. Yesterday, the Baseball Hall of Fame announced that Costas is one of 8 finalists for the Ford C. Frick Award, which recognizes excellence in baseball broadcasting. Other finalists include Al Michaels, Joe Buck, and Joe Morgan. This year, Costas called the ALDS between the Astros and the Red Sox. But enough about that first round. The World Series is finally here. The Dodgers and Astros get going tonight in Los Angeles. Remember, the Dodgers have home field advantage because they had the better regular season record. This is the first year that the All-Star game was not the deciding factor. LA won 104 games while Houston won 101. This is the first fall classic since 1970 with a pair of 100-win teams. Arena football is coming back to New York. Today, the AFL announced that a new team will begin play at the Union Time Center in Albany starting in the spring of 2018. The city hasn't had a team in nearly 2 decades since the Firebirds left Albany in 2000. The new franchise has not been named yet. Fans can suggest a team name online at albanyafl.com. And Tiger Woods is back in the news again. The 41-year-old golfer is expected to plead guilty to reckless driving Friday in Florida. That charge less severe than driving under the influence. Remember, back in May, Woods was pulled over in the middle of the night and officers found him unconscious at the wheel. Woods will enter a diversion program that involves a year probation and a $250 fine. He'll also attend DUI school and do 20 hours of community service. In terms of his actual golfing ability, Woods is still recovering from a 4th back surgery he underwent in April. His agent Mark Steinberg said last week that Woods has been cleared to resume full golf activity with no restrictions. But guys, with Tiger Woods, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, speaking of believing it, the Astros, they believe in their chances tonight. The Dodgers, they believe in their chances. Who you got in the World Series, Drew?
So for the World Series, Connor, I think it's going to go a full 7 games. These teams are so evenly matched. I think the slight edge goes to Los Angeles, though. The Dodgers, their bullpen is a little bit better, and I think Clayton Kershaw, this is his time to shine. He's tired of the critics saying he can't perform in the playoffs. He's one of the best pitchers ever. He'll prove it in the World Series.
And we're, a little more than halfway through the football season, so how is Syracuse ranking this year?
Syracuse has been pretty good so far. I think shattering expectations, really. They beat Clemson. They hung tough at number 8, Miami. 4-4 heading into the bye week. If Eric Dungy stays healthy, I think it's a bowl game in the future.
Thanks so much, Drew.
Appreciate it.
Citrus TV News, we'll be right back.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And the Empire has struck back in Ohio. A family of Star Wars fans created a 2-story tall replica of an AT-AT walker from the original trilogy.
The replica is made of wood and hard foam and took 6 months to finish. The family is accepting voluntary donations to cover construction costs. All right, I'm not a fan. I know you're not a fan either. But
I don't even know what we were reading about, to tell you the truth, but apparently this is big news.
It is, but I think I would prefer a different type of movie for this to happen for. What would be your choice?
Probably It's a Wonderful Life. That's my favorite movie.
Fair enough. I'd go Hunger Games because what's better than that?
That's fun. And that's all for Citrus TV News live at 6. Be sure to check out our website, citrustv.com, for more. I'm Connor Federico.
And I'm Elissa Candiotti. Have a great night, Syracuse.